Another day, another video about Marc-Andre Fleury, baby, of the Minnesota Wild, or at least formerly of the Minnesota Wild. I don't think the Wild are missing you too much, Flower. As cool as you are, as funny as you are, Philip Gustafsson and Jesper Wallstedt have been more than enough to make up for the loss of Marc-Andre Fleury. But still, Fleury is in the news because there are some NHL teams that need goalies. And we already did make a video about this earlier on in the week. It was Pierre LeBrun's update on Marc-Andre Fleury and the idea that the Edmonton Oilers, Vegas Golden Knights, or even the Montreal Canadiens could be interested in bringing Fleury in. And here's the thing. With Montreal, it's probably not a good idea anymore. You talk about the Fleury connection with the Quebec-based team, and obviously it would be cool to see Fleury suit up for the Habs. But as we had just noted earlier today, there's kind of a goaltending problem going on with Montreal. They've got three guys, one of whom was from the AHL, and he's looking really good. One of whom was from the AHL, and he's looking pretty meh. And the other is Jakub Dobeš. So obviously things are rotating in Montreal not all too well. You have Carter Hart in Vegas, who is, for whatever reason, been given a job. And with that in mind, who knows if Fleury would be interested in going back over to the team that backstabbed him via Alan Walsh, which leaves one more team available. And it's a team that folks are still talking about as probably the highest likely destination for Fleury and his services. My friends, let's go over onto OilersDaily.com and read this article published by Michael Amatuli. NHL Insider reveals when the Oilers will make a decision on Fleury. This will be linked in the description. It was from earlier this morning. I wanted to go out there and read this piece on the channel because it provides some pretty interesting info. Reports continue to surface that link the Oilers to retired goalie legend Marc-Andre Fleury. Since Fleury's retirement earlier this year, insiders have speculated that there is a 70% chance he kickstarts his career, likely in the new year, with Edmonton. Earlier this week, NHL insider Frank Seravalli reported that the Oilers were inquiring on Fleury. Now, that's very direct, and I don't think that that is 100% accurate in describing how things went down. This is what Seravalli said on The Big Show earlier this week. I'd have to think that one name the Oilers are thinking about today in this circumstance is Marc-Andre Fleury. If he's going to come back, it's going to be with a team that has an authentic chance to win, and that has the Oilers written all over it. Now, Seravalli has added that the Oilers will wait out their current trial period with Connor Ingram before making a final decision on actually pursuing Fleury to a contract. Ingram has 30 days or 10 games before he becomes waiver eligible. Seravalli also said this regarding the Oilers: they've got a window of time to test Ingram out. If not, maybe it's not Alex Lyon. I'm tracking Marc-Andre Fleury pretty closely. Is this a guy that comes out of retirement at some point, and would the Oilers make some sense? Now, that is very speculative, that specific tweet that we just looked at here, but ultimately, it does open the door to the idea, at the very least, that one, Marc-Andre Fleury could be coming back to the National Hockey League and could be a primary Oilers target. We had made a bunch of videos over the past few years of Edmonton targeting multiple goalies, from John Gibson to Sebastian Cossa to even Fleury before the guy was retired. This Oilers squad needs goaltending support, and unfortunately the trade of Stu Skinner didn't solve anything because Tristan Jarry got hurt too. Could I entice you in some sort of a Thatcher Demko, Mr. Stan Bowman? 2 first-round picks, that's the price. Or I guess they could go out there and sign Marc-Andre Fleury for free, technically, and try to get things going in that respect. Fleury is 41 years old, 6'2", 185. As we had mentioned in the previous video, the guy had a pretty okay year last season. .899 save percentage and a .294 goals against in 26 games played. While that's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, it is passable in today's NHL. With league save percentages going down and shooting percentages going up, it's harder and harder to find goalies that are consistently in .910, .920 territory, which is territory that Fleury was in for the majority of his NHL career. 915s, 916s, 920s, 921s, and then that crazy year in Vegas where he had a 9-7 save percentage in 46 games played. Not to mention his Vezina winning year as well. So Marc-Andre Fleury has had a very diversified body of work, lots of experience, lots of winning, lots of hardware. And that is the exact kind of guy that the Edmonton Oilers probably want in their organization. Somebody who knows how to win, who has gone through the depths of a deep Stanley Cup playoff run, who has been able to get himself those results, and hopefully is able to spread those results to this Oilers team that's lost back-to-back in the finals to Florida. But with this in mind, you have to think about some of the other options that Edmonton has. Connor Ingram, all things considered, has been pretty good in his opening stint here with the Oilers. If you take a look at what he has accomplished so far, I think he's getting the start later today for Edmonton against the Calgary Flames. Sorry, the screen was just white there. It's because Elite Prospects wasn't loading. But Connor Ingram, 28 years old, known for his very interesting goalie masks, has himself a 920 save percentage in 2 Oilers games so far. He's 2-0-0, 2 straight goals against averages, and he had a 947 against the Flames, 903 against Vegas. He still had a 903 save percentage despite allowing 3 goals versus the Golden Knights. It's kind of interesting because his AHL numbers were not good. 856 save percentage in 11 Bakersfield games is definitely not something you would hang your hat on. But after getting called back up, the 28-year-old Ingram has been very good for Edmonton, and it's why he's getting the start, I'm pretty sure, later today. It's kind of funny. My opponent in fantasy hockey this week picked up Calvin Pickard before the break, and then they just dropped Pickard immediately this morning and picked up Ingram because I was like, wait a minute, no, Pickard's not playing. They're going Ingram 2 games in a row. So that seems to be the plan here for the Edmonton Oilers. They want to give Ingram a sample. I don't think that Ingram is the guy that's going to be able to take over their team and be able to push them to the next level and beyond. I mean, he was never really that amazing at the NHL level. He was definitely passable, definitely even good, you can say, but whether or not you would say he is top of the line caliber, that's another story here. Last season with the Utah Hockey Club, Ingram had an 882 save percentage in 22 games. That's not great. However, the prior years in Arizona, 907, 907, that's actually really good. We'll give him that for them. But either way, Ingram is in the organization. He is one of 2 splitting the crease right now with Calvin Pickard. But this is why Seravalli goes out there and asks, hey, if it's not Ingram, if he doesn't end up proving well, do you go Alex Lyon? Do you go Marc-Andre Fleury? It seems like this is the timeline as to how this decision will be made. 30 days or 10 games, and Ingram right now is at a total of 2 games in however many days it has been. So with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this update that links Marc-Andre Fleury to the Edmonton Oilers one more time? And how are you feeling about the potential of Math ending up with this team in the first place? There is a lot to like out of Edmonton. There is a lot to like out of Fleury. Obviously, there would be some connection there, but do you think it's actually going to happen? The fact that Seravalli literally said 70% chance that the guy restarts his career, that's crazy. But if there's anybody that's going to go out there and make it look fine, it's probably Marc-Andre Fleury. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.